and this is episode 5 of the Backdoor Cut podcast. I've got Jamie Nelson, as usual, and, of course, de facto co-host Nelson Espinal. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Trying to hold up.
Yeah, as good as I can be.
Good as you can be. Yeah, especially after the run of games that we've had lately.
Yeah.
Let's jump into that. Let's go over the past 3 games. We've got Golden State, Utah, and obviously last night we had Houston.
Yep.
Golden State, I thought the young guys looked good, and we were in the game until about 3 minutes into the third quarter.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, it looked good, and
Yep.
you know we finally got to see that youth lineup that we've all been wanting with, Brown at the 3 and Black at the 5. So, is there anything that you guys saw that you liked a lot, or what?
It's like the first game of Randall finding his rhythm again, so hopefully that continues on. He's had 2 solid games in the last 3.
Yeah. What about you, Nelson?
I thought the Tarek sighting was amazing. I mean, seeing D'Angelo with the actual roll man, that was something to see. I mean, yeah, Julius had a good game too. Jordan really shined with the starter scoring 22 points. He really kept us in the game.
Yeah. It was really good seeing Tarek out there, and guess what he did? He produced.
No, he didn't.
Oh, wait, you're right. No, never mind. He didn't. No. That game, it just kind of went how I expected. I thought we would play well at first, and then Golden State would stop toying with us like a cat with a mouse,
Yep.
and then just blow us up. So that's pretty much what happened. Then on Saturday we had the game against Utah, and I literally shut the game off at halftime.
I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was brutal. All I know is that I was watching at the hotel because I was out of town, and man, it just was terrible. Like I think we gave up 30. Was it 32 in the first to Utah?
Yep.
Utah. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Like, Utah's not an offensive juggernaut, but
Not by any means.
No.
we made them look like one.
We have that effect on teams.
Yeah, right.
Sixers.
No, that's a topic I want to get into later. I've seen Sixers discussion floating around a lot. And then last night with Houston, did you watch, Jamie, or
I
did you
did watch
just
last night.
You did?
Yeah, I watched the first half kind of loosely. I was watching the Democratic debate, and then I watched the second half closely, which I regret.
Yeah. I fell asleep for 5 minutes. It was after we went from down 3 to down 10, and apparently I zoned out and was exhausted and just passed out for like 5 minutes, and then I woke up and we were down, I think, by 22.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that's just wonderful. What did you see, Nelson? I mean, the game was kind of a racket, but
I saw some of it. I was kind of off and on with the game. I saw Kobe pass, which was a miracle. I mean, he was actually setting up guys. I think it was more to pass Jerry West, but I mean, either way, he actually set up players, and no Tarek, which was really shocking to me when we were down 22 against the Rockets when it was practically garbage time, and we really needed to see him out there with the young guys. But instead, we see more Kelly and Bass, which is proven to be not good at all.
yeah, I threw that out on Twitter. I was like, apparently Byron still hasn't seen enough of the Bass Kelly front court. So I guess maybe we'll see another arbitrary 5 to 10 games of it.
Yeah.
But whatever. Yeah, no Tarek too. We'll get to. I guess that's just a perfect time to get to Tarek. He had a really good game against Golden State, You know, he provided what you wanted: rebounding and energy.
Yep.
You know, he's not going to be a scorer. He's not really even a mid-range guy. He's just a guy that you don't run plays for, and he just gets, if he gets buckets, it's because he got the offensive rebound and went back up with it. But of course, we had to endure through more Byron crap as he badgered, or he's just dismantling another young guy. My whole thing is he wanted him to compare, or he wants to be compared. Excuse me. He wants Tarek to play like Kenneth Fareed or Dennis Rodman or Ben Wallace, which none of those guys are really the same. But
No.
but Byron's a jackass, so whatever. The funny thing is, I can't remember who posted this on Twitter. Just last year, Byron compared Tariq to Kenneth Fareed. Like,
Oh yeah.
like, it's almost like the management has told him to stop making fun of, or stop just going after D'Angelo or Julius, so now he has to pick on someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Jamie. I think most of us know what Tarek provides, but
Yeah.
I mean, how about you just talk a little bit of exactly why it's important for him to be on the court?
Well, he's young. He could be part of the future on a cheap deal, which is always important. He was probably the biggest factor in Clarkson's development last year. Him and Clarkson just found a rhythm, and that's when Clarkson started taking off. And you have an even better pick-and-roll guard with Russell that could do nothing but help him. And I've been a pretty big supporter of Hibbert, but he can't be any worse than Hibbert at this point.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to Hibbert later too with the front office, but yeah, Hibbert has just been lately, and he's just been hated on lately, which is understandable because he's just.
I feel like he's checked out a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. And there's now rumors that he's going to be trying to be dealt. I have some ridiculous trade scenarios later, but yeah. What about you, Nelson? I mean, it's just I think I saw you frustrated online as well about that. If not, I'm sure you were probably just pissed anyways. It's exactly, he's the guy that we need, right? I mean, he's a pick and roll guy. Any thoughts of just how stupid this is?
It's mostly Byron calling out his energy and the way he plays. I guess he's not Kenneth Reed. He can't play with that type of energy, but he's still a high energy guy, high energy role player. I mean, he should definitely be getting more minutes than Kelly, because I don't see Kelly being part of the future. I don't see Black being like that critical, but I definitely see him being as on the bench, a great role man for D'Angelo. And really, I don't know why Byron doesn't really play him at all. I mean, I don't know what he did to him, but I think he'd be the perfect fit for the team. I mean, literally, he helped Clarkson last year with his pick and rolls. Same thing for D'Angelo, but no, instead Byron rides him on the bench like every single other young player.
Yeah. I mean, I've enjoyed seeing. I thought it was nice to see Kelly. Just if we could play a modern offense.
Yep.
But that's not happening. So it's just time to cut bait on that. Yeah, I mean, Tariq, is it Tariq or Tariq?
I think it's Tariq.
No idea.
I don't know. I think he had like there was a whole story online about how to pronounce it during the off season. You guys put it perfectly. Pick and roll guy, provides energy. He's undersized, but he's on a good team. He would be a third five, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that cheap deal that you were talking about, Jamie, he's $850,000, and it's just guaranteed. So if it just guaranteed, then one, I think that makes it a little less appealing for people to trade for him, you know, because a lot of these deals with lower salaries like that, people will cut bait on them,
Yep.
You know, I mean, some of the teams have the cap space to just, you know, eat it and whatnot, but you know, not every organization wants to do that. So, I mean, all hit Tariq's, Huertas, and Artest's deal all guaranteed earlier. So, I don't know.
It also means no D-League call-ups unless we make some trades, which
Yeah,
kind of sucks.
yeah. That was one thing that I was hopefully looking forward to. You know, is there's a few guys maybe on the defenders that I could see. Maybe Malcolm Thomas, former SDSU Aztec. He's never been able to stick it in the league, but in the D League he balls out.
Yeah.
I think if we would have cut like Huertas or, you know, Artest, we could have finally tried to, or just cut Sakura altogether. Tried Upshaw, like just bring him up, just to get some, you know,
some reps in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm fine with keeping him down in the D League, but my whole point was just to try and get like Hibbert or, you know, Bass, you know, guys that you generally think of as good veterans, you know, to like work with him, you know. There's a few guards and like small forwards that I would like to see, but yeah, that's so true, Jamie. That means no 10-day contracts unless there's an injury or something.
Yep.
And then I think you even have to get an injury waiver now.
Yep.
But which is yay. Did you guys read the Mark Medina article this morning?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
First thing I read when I woke up this morning.
Yeah. It just Byron's critiques of Tarek are just stupid.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not sure he watches it when he actually plays.
Well, this is the second energy guy he's called out. Because remember, after he benched Randall, that was one of the BS lines that he said. You know, and now it's just like the definition of an energy guy that he's benching. So, all right. Before I think we just like get super depressed, let's move on. The Utah game, like we said, was bad. I'm looking at stats. Golden State, everyone looked pretty good. Utah, crap. D'Angelo did have 13 points and 4 assists. Last night, D'Angelo filled up the stat sheet, 12 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, and 3 steals. Jordan with 16 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and Julius with another double-double, but his first of the new year. I think a guy and Nance has been out, which is unfortunate since we don't get to see the Nance Randall
lineup. Is it the same knee that he tore his ACL in? Do we know?
I don't know. I think it's the tendonitis acting up, which that's just going to be a recurring issue pretty much his career. I think the biggest improvement of all the young guys that I've seen is Anthony Brown.
Yes.
The last podcast, I think it was, we were all like, we're really worried about him, you know. 23-year-old, and he was coming. The streak that was about to come up was against, you know, with Golden State. He had to deal with Clay or oh goodness, who plays the 3? Does Iggy start at the 3 right now? It's Brandon Rush, right?
Yeah.
He did pretty well there. He didn't shoot good, but then Utah, I thought he did a decent job on Hayward. He showed, you know, his defensive chops and shot, I think 3 for 3 from deep.
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah. So 9.
3 for 3.
9 points. I mean, that was a career high until last night where he had 10. So I mean, he's you know, with consistent playing time, he's finally starting to.
What a concept.
Yeah. I think, to me, it just feels like all of us are kind of down because it just seems the whole like just sounds weird saying this. The whole vibe. Well, no, that doesn't sound weird. Vibe of the team is just killed by Byron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even though we're happy to see D'Angelo playing well, which
Really well.
Jamie was so correct yesterday. Did that guy ever stop, by the way?
Yeah, he just stopped replying, which is fine with me.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't see, Jamie had a discussion with, or he was putting out stats about D'Angelo, and D'Angelo, since the first of the year, has arguably been the best Laker.
Yeah.
I don't even really know if it's that much of an argument.
I don't think it is, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying that even as soon as next year, he could be our best player, but that might honestly be
right now.
Right now.
Yeah,
You know,
that's kind of telling of where the team is right now. I mean, we really don't have that much talent. I mean, Lou is a scorer. He plays terrible defense. Clarkson, terrible defense. Also another good scorer. Julius, he's a double-double guy, but his defense is still a bit off.
Russell's the only guy that plays both ends.
Yeah.
I know. Which we talked about last time in Pelton's article. Apparently, Randall plays better on man than we thought, but yeah, his off ball is just atrocious.
Really, really bad. Yeah.
I mean, it just shows like we've got a good future with D'Angelo. So anyone that says that he's a bust is an idiot.
Yeah.
You're just showing that you don't watch, or you're just choosing to ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I the whole season just is kind of meh right now because of the farewell tour of Kobe, and as I'm sure most everyone saw, Kobe was told by Gary Vee to shut it down for 2 weeks, and he said no.
And Byron also said no.
Yeah. But, before I don't want to take over another show again by ranting. So I want you guys. Let's go with you first, Nelson. What do you think of this whole situation?
I think Kobe is gonna play himself hurt, and eventually he's gonna be out for the season. And we're gonna read it, and we're all gonna be really depressed and sad. But I mean, that's where it's gonna end up. I mean, he shouldn't really even be playing right now. He shouldn't even be starting. And yet he's jacking up like 35 minutes a game, and he's running the floor, and he's actually trying, but except on the defensive end because he can't play any defense at this age. I think he should just shut it down for like maybe 2 months, and then play the All-Star game, and then
I don't know
start
about
from there.
I think he should shut it down for about 2 to 3 weeks. But yeah, I agree. What about you, Jimmy?
I get where Kobe's coming from because he wants to. Everybody that paid a ton of money to go see him one last time, he wants to honor that, which I get. Maybe they should compromise and play him like 15 minutes a night. I know that's asking a lot from Kobe and Byron, but I completely get wanting to play every game. It's his last, 37 games of his career, so I get it. So maybe play him less minutes, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Kupchak's interview, was it last week or 2 weeks ago now? It just shows that Kobe's kind of hijacked the organization. After I heard Byron say that he wasn't going to sit Kobe, I went on a complete rant on Twitter. And if anyone listens to the Lakers Silver Screen and Roll, the SB Nation podcast, Anthony Irwin went on a long tangent about that. He said that if Kobe gets hurt before the first or the last game against Utah in mid-April, I can't remember exactly, everyone should be fired, because if this is what you want the season to be about, farewell to Kobe, then you can't fail at keeping Kobe healthy.
Yeah. If you do that and refunding.
Yeah, it's just stupid. I mean, with tickets supposedly with the last game up to like $80,000, like you're gonna fail, if you keep doing this. But then, after going off on that, then I saw that Kobe just laughed off Vidi.
Yep.
What exactly did I put in the outline? Kobe told Vidi that he isn't sitting, so at this point, I actually won't feel bad. I know that sounds terrible, and Kobe is one of my favorite players of all time, but this will be him doing this to himself.
Yep. But, I mean, that's also where the head coach needs to step in, because Kobe always would do this when he was hurt.
I know.
The head coach has to put him on the bench. That's kind of their job.
And that gets to the point of he's hijacked the organization.
Yeah.
You know, he's been one of the first people to, say, hey, the future is most important, but then apparently when it comes to his tour, he doesn't care.
Future's important as long as he gets his minutes.
Exactly. I'm so, like, I don't even know about the situation. It's like depressing,
Yeah.
Just, you want to see Kobe as much as possible, but that doesn't mean you want him playing 30 minutes a game.
Nope.
Jamie, I think you're right. 15 minutes a game would be good, because the Golden State game, he looked bad. He just looked terrible. There was a point in the third quarter where he actually played really good D on Klay Thompson, but then after a couple minutes of that, then it just looked like he was just down for the count.
Yeah, defense is hard. Can't do it in your 20th season.
Yeah. And then Utah, it's just ridiculous. I mean, because seriously, it's not the Achilles that Kobe tore, okay?
Right.
So me and Jamie have talked about on here about how the first Achilles rupture was kind of a freak injury. Well, he strained the other Achilles now, and
which is Wesley Matthews last week said that what Kobe's describing now is what he felt right before he tore this.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Kobe even told Vidi this doesn't feel like a 2-week injury. Yeah, probably because it's like a 2-month injury, like Nelson said. It's just so stupid. Like Kobe, or Byron, or I'm not even gonna go to front office. Mitch should step in and say, we are sitting you down.
I get why he doesn't, though, because he said it before that it's not a good look when the front office tries to meddle with head coaching decisions. So I get why he's hesitant to, but it might be the time to do it.
I know. It's because if it's just like a minor issue, like you said, I agree. It would look bad, especially since I think Byron has to be gone. I mean, I don't even see how there's any other option. That would look bad for the future head coach. But this is a major issue because we're not just talking about his gameplay, because honestly, no one really cares about that right now. We just want to see him.
Yep.
It's all business. He has a massive contract, but he is probably bringing in
so much more.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like LeBron with his rings. He's probably bringing in, I would say, 10 times that.
At least, yeah, easily.
I joked with the 2-3 and all that, but no, I mean he's just. I live about 45 minutes from LA, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how fast you drive. I've seen more Kobe jerseys out and about, or the Kobe jerseys, the shirt jerseys, than I have seen in
even down here in Florida. Same
2-3 years. Yeah, it's like he is he's a national symbol for the basketball. For basketball.
Just look at the Lakers TV ratings when they're on national TV. The second worst team in the league, and they're pulling great ratings.
Yeah, which they're still better than the Clippers. Oh, I love that. They're what, the third or fourth seed in the West, and we still have a
Yeah.
better TV rating than them. Oh, I love that. But it's honestly if he gets hurt, that's huge. A huge, like they're gonna have to like refund people, like, or like I don't somehow give money back to other organizations.
Yep.
You know, it's just. I mean, Kobe's even talked about now how he's not even gonna do the Rio Olympics.
That tells me that he knows he's hurt.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not. He said because he wants his last game to be in a Laker uniform, but
Yeah.
no, he knows he can't.
Yeah, I know. I like I said, I will probably be depressed, but one of the injuries is going to happen. Either something with one of the legs is going to happen, or that shoulder, because
Well, I think it'll be the legs. He'll play through the shoulder, no matter how bad it gets. I think
yeah, true.
he could take that and he'll keep playing.
Yeah, I don't know if either of you had a shoulder injury. Oh my word,
No.
I don't. Yeah, from all my weightlifting in high school and college, that's one thing that would be hard to play through. Which I mean, he's got an insane,
Pain tolerance, like
pain
crazy
tolerance.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's go on to the front office. Was it this week that we the rumor of DeRozan came out?
Yeah.
You guys talk first. Let's go with Jamie. What do you think of a DeRozan signing? Because
I don't dislike DeRozan. I don't like him for the Lakers. That's my entire stance on it, which of course is impossible to get across on Twitter because you have to be on one side or the other.
It's true.
I like him. I enjoy watching him. I don't like him for the Lakers, and I just think money would be more wisely spent elsewhere.
I agree. What about you, Nelson?
I think it for sure helps the team. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know how much and if it's worth the money that we're gonna pay for him. He's not the greatest outside shooter for D'Angelo. It's not gonna be.
That's an understatement if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, and I don't know if he can play the three that much, and
No.
the fit for the team overall is not that good. And I think that we can spend it on other players like Ezelia. I wouldn't mind giving him a max, or even Whiteside. I'd rather bring him in than DeRozan.
Yeah, I'd rather bring Whiteside in.
Yeah, which is saying a lot.
Because
from Jamie. Yeah, because if anyone follows Jamie on Twitter, he kind of, I don't want to say bagged on Whiteside, but
Oh no, he bagged on Whiteside.
No, I bagged.
Okay. All right. My stance on DeRozan is pretty much what you guys are saying. He's a terrible outside shooter. It's not that he is sort of bad. His career 3-point percentage is like 25%.
Yep.
He's having a contract year. How many times have we seen that blow up in people's faces in the future?
Trevor Ariza became a contract year.
Yeah. So I've been having conversations with a guy named Jim on Twitter. I think we talked about him last time.
Yep.
Dim Pat or Jim P7777. We got me and him were in the middle of talking about DeRozan, and someone asked, well, he's not really that bad of an outside shooter because he's not hijacking the ball and shooting 3 or 4 shots a game from deep, which on the surface looks true, but if you actually think about it, it just really means that he's even worse.
Yeah.
Because
only taking good shots and he's that bad.
Yeah. He's the king of mid-range, okay? Which he's modeled his game after Kobe, but he's. Did you say this morning, or someone said it? I can't remember. I thought it was you, Jamie. DeRozan has modeled his game after Kobe, but he just isn't quite Kobe.
No, it wasn't me, but that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I feel bad. I don't know who. I can't remember who said that. It's so true. He's the king of mid-range. The key for him this year has been getting into the paint, right? Which is great. That's wonderful. But then we have a lot of guys that have to do that too.
Yep.
I hate the idea of DeRozan to LA, especially with how the team is constructed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Rosales said that, and I agree, the only way I would sign DeRozan is if we were to trade Clarkson and Lou.
Yeah.
Because it's first off, if you keep Lou, we're pretty much the Raptors from last year. And look at how that turned out.
Might as well sign Kyle Lowry now.
Actually, I love Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
When he was a free agent, I said Lakers should have gone after him.
Oh yeah. 4 years, $48 million. That wasn't that bad.
Oh, dude, that was a steal.
Yeah.
Oh my word, he's one of the best players in the Eastern Conference. Not even just the Eastern Conference point guards. He's just one of the best in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, because if we don't keep, or if we do go after him, you have to trade those two because he essentially nullifies those two.
Yep.
You know, and if you look, Lou before was shooting a career high in 3-point percentage. That's come back down to earth. He's actually, I think, now below his career average by a percentage point. It's stupid. Everyone's like, he's a superstar. No, he's not. He's not
a star.
He's a star. And he's a big name. He puts up counting stats. He puts up nice points. That's because he's getting to the paint all the time. But he's not good on defense, and he can't play the three. Everyone, like, he's 6'6", 6'7", that he can play the three. No, he can't, because his athleticism is actually overrated. He can jump. He can jump high.
But he's not really fast.
No,
or quick.
He's not. So he's gonna. What the Lakers need is a defensive 3-and-D guy. Okay, we need a guy that can defend, and DeRozan can't do that, and he can't space the floor. So, yeah. And if you look at the Lakers' history, I mean, this is kind of what we all wanted them to do anyways, but it's just the wrong route. If you look at our history, the past, 4 years, it's been, or 3 years, it was trying to re-sign Dwight. And honestly, I think they wanted to move on from Dwight. They just kind of kept with it because they, spent assets on him.
Yep.
The following summer, we went after Melo. Understandable.
I'm so happy we didn't do that.
I
would rather have Dwight Howard with a max contract than Melo.
No.
Yeah.
I think that Melo could have brought free agents. Probably could lure Kevin Durant a little bit.
I disagree with that. First off, Melo now his best position is the small ball 4. They don't do that very much. I don't know why. Derek Fisher doesn't experiment at all with his lineups.
Phil's just coaching through him anyway. I don't know how many decisions Fish is making himself.
True. I have no clue. That organization is in a much better place than it was.
True.
2 years ago. Yeah. Because they don't have the crazy salary cap issues, and they have some young players now. And they've got the biggest trade chip in possibly the entire NBA of Carmelo. Because I think he can still bring a big return.
Oh, yeah, anybody will still trade for him, any contender.
Yeah.
I think Boston's going to probably trade for him, give him the Brooklyn pick and a couple guards. That could be.
I still always say Chicago.
Yeah.
Give him Bobby Portis, give him Tony Snell, couple first.
Especially now that Noah's hurt.
Yeah.
Pop him at the 4 next to Powell.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But notice those three names, right? I didn't even get to the last name. And then this year we went after LaMarcus, right? That's 3 of quite possibly the top 10, 15 guys in the league, depending on how you look at, I guess, LaMarcus. And, at the time, Dwight was clearly a top 10.
Yeah,
absolutely.
At the time, I still think Carmelo was clearly a top 10.
Yeah.
LaMarcus was bordering, I would say, at least top 15.
Mhm.
But notice how high or biggest superstars those guys were. DeRozan isn't on their
Not
level.
at all.
No.
It is kind of like they're going after a mid-level free agent. And I'm fine with that. But then if you're going to go after those mid-level free agents, you better be looking for better fits.
Exactly.
So that's my 2 cents on DeRozan. I'm sure we'll have much more to talk about on him in the future.
Well,
I hope not.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. I don't either, but so the guy that I think me and Jamie most want as the 3 is Bazemore, but apparently everyone on Lakers Pulse just hates Bazemore. I'm
not saying he's even close to a star. He's just a perfect fit for the team.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, do you want to talk about that so people will understand a little bit better?
Yeah. I'm not really about signing a superstar this summer. I'm patient. I'm all for staying the course, building a strong foundation that'll give you 10 to 12 years of success than chasing a big trade or a big name that will give you immediate success, but that might only last a few years. So I think Bazemore is still very young, fits in perfectly, won't really still be expensive. He's not going to demand a max.
No, I think 12 million a year would be great.
Somewhere around there.
15. Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, and even you can overspend a little bit on him with what the cap's about to do and all the cap space the Lakers have. That's why I want him. I'm all about rebuilding, and I'm perfectly fine with that. As long as progress is being made, unlike the Sixers. Like, the Sixers trust the process, but they haven't made progress in 3-4 years.
Yeah.
As long as the Lakers are getting better, I'm okay.
Real quick before I get to you, Nelson, the whole Sixers talk made me think of I want to say his name is Billy Monty on Twitter. I might be wrong. He said that if it weren't for the Sixers, the Lakers would just look even more terrible.
Yeah.
You know, say they had improved and they had signed a couple middling free agents themselves, how much better would they be? I mean, already with Ish Smith and D'Antoni, they look better.
A lot better.
So, yeah. What do you think, Nelson?
I think Bazemore would be a perfect 3-and-D guy. You know, plugging at the 3, that'd be a good fit. I still think we should throw a max at like a Beal or a Barnes, maybe try to sign one of them. But I don't
go anywhere.
Yeah, but I don't know how the Lakers are gonna fix this, and this is not gonna be a quick fix. It's probably gonna take a couple years, a lot of years actually. I don't know where they're gonna go. If they're gonna tank, are they gonna like try to sign low-level free agents again and try to keep their draft picks and get assets and try to pull off a big trade, kind of Boston style, or I don't know how. Because I have a list of free agents, but I don't see them signing with the Lakers because some of them are a little bit older and they might want to win now, and I don't think they want to do what the Lakers are doing and rebuild, like Roy Hibbert, who saw how that trade worked out and how he's struggling right now and how he should really be on a contender. He should be trying to win a championship, but he's stuck with the Lakers, who are like literally one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NBA.
Yeah. A couple good points that you brought up. Well, Beal isn't going anywhere. Did you guys see that he said that he might have to be on a minutes limit his entire career? Was that like a junk? Was that a junk article that I saw? I saw it on Twitter. I just laughed at it and scrolled away. I should have probably checked into it more, but maybe one of you guys can look it up real quick. Seriously, the article said that he might have to be on a minutes limit his entire career, which that would scare the crap out of me. Then you said something else, Nelson, and I forgot exactly what it was. Crap, I forgot what it was. My idea on Bazemore is that he's versatile. he's only 6'5", which means he's only like 6'3.5" without shoes, but it doesn't matter because he's 6'5" on the court. He's stupid long. He's like he's got like a wingspan of like 6'11", maybe even almost 7 foot, and he's got gigantic hands. He can play the 2 and the 3. So, and like you guys said, it's not going to be a massive deal, you know. And the beauty of signing Bazemore is that does not stop you in any way of, say we get the 2nd overall pick, Simmons goes 1. That does not stop you from drafting Ingram.
No.
You know, it's just the smart play. You know, I agree with Jamie. I'd rather be patient. You know, it was the quick fix. The quick fix that you said, Nelson.
Yeah.
This isn't a quick fix. I think Jamie's talked about it several times at Lakers Pulse. We've talked about it on here before. We are probably, if everything breaks perfect, we're probably still 2 years away from the playoffs. Next year, you hope that we win.
I don't know if the West stays down again next year, like it is this year, and the Lakers get a good coach, and then you add on what Russell will be, which is kind of scary to think about how good he can be next year.
Oh, I know.
They could be pretty close to a
I was
37-win team.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say 34 to 37 wins. If somehow everything broke right, like an injury to another team or something, you know. I don't know what is going on with the West this year. Is it? I don't know. I
think the Spurs and Warriors and kind of the Thunder are just nuking everybody because they still got the West is still winning the West-East matchup.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's just like how you said. Are they just beating up on inter-conference?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is that it? I mean, I haven't looked at the schedule that much, but that's probably what I would assume it would be.
Yeah.
The East is just better because there's just more parity there. But yeah, this isn't a quick fix, you know. Maybe if we make perfect draft selections and we sign the perfect guys and everyone turns out the right way and we get a great head coach and he gets a great staff and all these things happen, maybe we could somehow win 40, maybe. But then again, I thought this year we were going to be between 24 to 27 if we were bad, and like we
should be with a competent coach. We wouldn't be really.
Yeah, this is true. But now we're on pace. We've got 9 wins, right? We're 9 and 33, I think now.
17, 18 wins.
Yeah, 17 or 18 wins.
The tank rolls on.
Half of what I predicted before the season started.
Yeah. I don't even know. Everyone was mocking ESPN for how they said that we would only win like 22 or 23 games. And look who was right.
Well, I mean,
also,
I wrote about it too, just so you guys know. I mean, whatever.
About Beal, he wants to be on a minutes limit for the rest of his career because he's missed 73 games with the same injury, a bone in his right leg that won't ever fully heal.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not giving that guy a max deal.
No.
I'm not. Like, no. I'd rather go after Whiteside. All right, so let's get into. I think we're all in agreement. Bazemore would be a great signing. So we do need a 5 somehow, some way. I think Hibbert's not coming back next year. There's already trade rumors. That's not even an option anymore. People who were wanting Joe Kim, that was a bad idea to begin with.
Now it's really bad.
Now the only way I would have been okay with going with Joe Kim was if we were to somehow make a trade before the injury. We make that trade to see what he has. You know, maybe Fred Hoiberg's system wasn't doing him justice and whatever. Did you guys see the jump shot that he took the other night? Oh my word, that hurt to watch. Like,
Yeah, I don't want to
maybe.
watch that 82 games this season at all.
Yeah. He's aging. Thibodeau destroyed him.
Which
He
is why
was
I don't want him to be the Lakers coach.
exactly. He's like my third, fourth, or fifth option. Like that's if we strike out on everyone else. Um, I still say that if Thibodeau wanted the head coaching job, he would be the head coach right now.
Yep.
I don't think he wants to be the head coach. Thibodeau to Brooklyn. He'll turn Rondé Hollis Jefferson into a defensive god. No,
Yeah.
that would be scary. So we need a 5. I think the 2 best options are Hassan Whiteside, who's a knucklehead, but ended up having a triple-double with 11 blocks, I think.
Yeah.
How much that actually means his defense is good is up for question, because believe it or not, people, that doesn't always mean he's playing great D. And then I think the other option is Festus Ezeli.
Yep.
I think Hassan would be the easier guy to grab because I think Miami just kind of done with him. They even benched him the other night. Yeah, and he's an unrestricted free agent. While Festus is in a good situation, Golden State does like him, and he's restricted.
I still think if you throw the max at him, he's
Yeah, the Golden State can't match that.
Because they have to resign Harrison Barnes. They're not letting him go.
Yeah. Well, my only question is Festus a max guy?
Yeah, I don't know if I can give him the max.
I mean, nowadays the max is just kind of thrown around as like just you get a max and you get a max and everyone gets a max. I don't. Maybe and with how the cap is about to blow up, I would be fine with it because it would be for him. Would it be 24 or would it be 20? You know, Jamie or Nelson? I'm not great with all the contract details.
Yeah, me either.
It's just, do you want to pay that much for him? I don't see the Warriors matching a 4-year, 75, 4-year, $80 million deal.
No.
And honestly, I wouldn't have that hard of a time being okay with. What do you guys think? What would you pay Festus?
I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm not great with the salary numbers. I wouldn't give him the max, I don't think.
No.
If they were going to throw a max, I guess Whiteside, but I really don't want to give him a max either. If he's got some attitude problems with Pat Riley, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh on his team, they're only going to get worse on a team full of 20-somethings.
Yeah, I agree.
And him having hundreds of millions of dollars to blow in Los Angeles.
Yeah, did you see that his rookie year from the Kings, he got a $480,000 contract, which basic, he was a second-round pick.
Yep.
He showed up to practice with a $200,000 Mercedes.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to give Whiteside the benefit of the doubt because he is uber talented.
Yes, and I definitely his issues seem to be positioning on defense, which can be taught. So I think he can be a great defender.
I think so too, and he's
willing to do it.
Yeah. I don't remember who posted that exact thing that he did, but in the same little piece, they said that Hassan Whiteside was told by one of the coaches, and it was like a veteran player. I can't remember exactly, but it was a solid vet. You know, like you need to learn how to do this, and he's like, no, and they're like, no, this isn't like a question. You're going to do it. And he was like, okay, I'll give you 10 reps.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember who that was either.
Yeah. That was several years ago. Maybe he's been humbled. I'm not there. I don't read a ton of Miami Heat blogs, so I have no clue. I think it will take the max or close to it to get him. honestly, I want him, but there would have to be like it would have to be like a 3-year a 4-year deal, right? Because I think that's the max
Yep,
years
4
you
years.
can give. A 4-year deal with a team option after, or we'll say a player option after the second year. So then he would have that third year pretty much guaranteed, and then the fourth year would be a team option.
It'd be
I
easier if
think.
this was baseball. You could just throw a bunch of clauses in the contract to
Oh, I
keep him
know.
alive.
I know. Um, yeah, I love baseball contracts. Um, it and the no salary cap.
Yeah.
um, I what do you think of that, Jamie? Like a player option after 2 and a team option after 3. I
I'd go
mean,
for that. I'd worry though if he did figure it out that he would absolutely opt out after 2 and sign a massive deal. Which I mean, if he figures it out, he'd probably be worth it anyway. So
yeah, I agree.
I think that'd be good incentive for both sides.
Yeah, because he's going to be 27 next year. I think
Yeah,
he's
I think
26
so.
right now. He doesn't have a lot of miles on the legs. You
No,
know,
hardly any.
he hasn't had any injuries, like significant injuries that I can remember. Maybe in college or something he tore his ACL. I don't know. That's just total speculation. What I'm trying to say is he doesn't have a lot of miles on the legs. So if you were to opt out after the 2 and then, you know,
4 more.
yeah, 4 more, it would be fine. He wouldn't be like that aging big man who's, you know, going to break down because they've just got loads of miles.
Right.
My preference is Ezeli, partly so then Nance will stop killing him with dunks. But no, he's like a baby DeAndre to me. That is a terrible comp. I'm right there throwing that out. That is a terrible comp. He's a tall, athletic, big man who is good in the pick and roll, not the pick and pop, which is what we need is pick and roll. Byron, are you listening? But yeah, I wouldn't throw the max at Ezeli. I mean, I would be more willing to give like just straight guaranteed cash to Ezeli than I would to be a Whiteside though.
I think Ezeli is the better option overall. I think he plays better defense overall. Not that he doesn't get as many stats because he doesn't play as much, but he's a better defender than Whiteside. I think I'd prefer him because he's a high character guy. He won't cause any problems. He's young too. He's 26. We signed him to a 4-year deal. We'll get him in his prime, and I think it'd be the perfect fit. I don't know. I don't see any problems with it. Honestly, I think he tore his ACL a season. I'm not sure.
He tore it 3 years ago now. It was his second year in the league. He seems to be fine. That was a massive injury though. It wasn't just a torn ACL. They were questioning if he was going to be able to come back and play. Obviously he's back, and I agree. That was good points, Nelson. Really good points. I think he would be the best option.
He has potential to grow side with the young guys. I think he still has a long way to go with his offense. His defense is there. I think he can be a better rebounder too, but I think he has more potential than Whiteside.
I don't know if I would say necessarily potential, because if Whiteside were to figure it out,
sky's the limit for that
guy. Yeah, my issue is will he figure it out? So I get what you're saying, but I think the better term to use would just be safer instead of
safer.
But honestly, I don't know how much of a difference there is right now. That is a guy that I would pursue very strongly. I mean, him at the 5 and then with Randall at the 4, that would be pretty good. 2 guys that need to and the thing is he's good at the pick and roll too.
Yeah.
He rolls his hands a couple years ago were bricks. He couldn't catch worth a damn. Now it's so much better. so he could just like, hey, this is how you set a proper screen, and then you turn and you roll to the basket.
What
So
a concept.
yeah, it's difficult. I know. It's like the first basketball player ever drawn up, but
The name I threw out on Twitter would be cheap if we miss out on those two guys. Is Biombo. How would you guys feel about that?
It depends on the deal.
Yeah. He's only 23. He won't be 24 until sometime next year.
I didn't realize he was still that young.
Yeah.
That's another guy with like really brick hands.
Yeah.
But
defends and rebounds.
Yeah, I would have no problem throwing like a 4-year, $40 million deal his way. Yeah, you're right. I mean, if you could just teach him how to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he can't shoot, but like again, pick and roll. Like you don't need the 5 to shoot. Okay. What?
Seeing how he shoots around the rim.
Bismack?
Yeah.
I don't think he's a particularly great finisher, but
he's at 49% for the season overall.
Yeah, he's a good like plan C option, I think.
He's like a upgrade to Roy Hibbert.
Yeah. He's not super tall. I think
he's
only
like 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah,
something like that.
But his wingspan is freakish. It's freakish.
And he's incredibly athletic.
Yeah. I have no idea if he's actually only 23 or 24. Because
he is 23 and 143 days.
Yeah, I was more meaning of there was questions if he was actually that young when he was drafted. But if he really is that young, oh my word! I still can't believe Charlotte gave up on him.
Nope.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think, Nelson? What do you think of Biombo?
I think he'd be kind of like Roy Hibbert. I don't know if I want that. I know he's a great rim protector, but I mean, apart from that, I don't really know much about him. I think I still really, really like Izzy Lee with the Lakers. I'm sold 100% on him. I think he's safer and he has a lot of potential as an offensive guy. And if he figures out the offense, he'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I would go Izzy Lee Whiteside first, and then he could be that backup plan if those don't work out.
I agree. That sounds good to me. Yeah, we've talked on threes in the past, so let's not keep doing that. So let's move on to everyone's favorite topic. I got a question by the guy called Black Lotus at Philly Lotus 11 on Twitter. Why is Byron a black hole that you die from? I literally,
oh man,
it's perfect. It literally like this is he is the coach where teams go to die.
It's like I know he's gonna say something stupid, and I prepare myself for it, and I still get upset about it.
Yeah,
it's like always dumber than I could have imagined it would have been.
Yeah.
You hope so badly he'll make the right call. You hope so badly he'll put in Nance and Randall, and right when you think it's about to happen, he messes it up somehow.
I want someone to just yell at. Well, did you hear the Utah Jazz fan the other night? I think it was Baxter. Baxter Holmes. He said if a Lakers fan was yelling at Byron like, "You suck and you need to quit." Like it's so true.
Yeah.
Obviously he has those stupid comments of the young guys, but I just want to go over real quick of I think we all keep getting asked about if Byron will be fired.
No. Not during the season.
Yeah, no. Byron's not being fired during the season. If he was going to be, it would have already happened. I think he is here for Kobe, and that's it. Once Kobe retires, Byron's gone.
Obviously, I hope so.
Right. The main reason why I I mean, other than him just being a terrible coach, is I have here the Lakers want to always be entertaining, right? If we're not winning championships, we at least want to be entertaining. Am I off base with that one?
Nope.
Right? We like to be. We always like to bring up Showtime.
Oh,
Showtime was fun. Yeah, Showtime was fun. Showtime was 30 years ago.
I hate that phrase now.
I know, right? So obviously he's a terrible coach and whatnot, but for the front office, right? Byron is dull and boring, right? His style that he teaches the kids is just terrible. Like, we're one of the most boring teams in the entire league, you know? He's controversial in a bad way. If we want to be controversial, we want to be controversial in a good way.
Yeah.
Right? And the fan base is turning on him, which generally means that a change will be made.
It's really bad, too, if they're turning on Byron.
Yep. Dave Schilling on the Lakers SBN Nation podcast said that we need to jump into the modern era, and Lakers want to be fun and entertaining. So what is this? We have a coach who literally takes off guys who are making the games entertaining.
Yep.
That, I think that's just right there. You know, I went over a couple of it twice, but he's dull and boring, and the style of play is trash. Everyone is bored during these games. I'm falling asleep during half of them.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, I mean, you're on the East Coast, so.
Yeah.
But it's just like terrible, you know. Like, hey, let me take out D'Angelo and Randall. You know, two guys that make it fun and exciting. We're pushing the ball up and down the court. The type of play that we're always trying to push of Showtime Lakers. And let me put in Lou Williams.
And then post up Hibbert from 30 feet. That's not your favorite play?
Hibbert post-ups are just terrible. That just proves to you how stupid Byron is. He still thinks Hibbert can post up. Like,
well, he's tall, so he can post up.
He's big. Come on. I think he should literally just jack up jump shots the entire game. I think that's really his only offense. Because his jump shot's pretty average.
He's got a solid mid-range game. The problem is he just waits too long.
Yeah.
Even though I'd like to see the shot chart, I don't know if his shot is actually falling all that much this year. But there was a play where he had like an easy bunny, but he put the ball on the court and then he actually backed up a little bit and decided to go for a 10-foot hook. What are you doing? Oh, but decisions like that is what is really going to get Byron killed. You know, well, not killed, but fired.
Maybe killed in LA.
maybe. The Lakers are known for being a winning team. The Lakers are known for being an entertaining team. We're neither of those, and we would all be fine if we were losing, but entertaining.
Yep, like with Mike D'Antoni. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
I at least watched all those games.
Yeah. I don't understand. The crazy thing to me is how does he still have defenders? How?
Many.
That Burning Man
Yeah.
person. Oh my word! First off, you shot yourself in the foot, bro. When you always want to support Byron, and then you bash, I think it was Randall, and then say that should be on coaching. You just admitted that Byron sucks. Okay, I'm not gonna. I'll. Sorry, no more rants. No more rants. Yeah. What do you guys think? I mean, obviously we have our options, but do you think I'm wrong with that one? I mean, obviously he's a terrible coach, but we've employed obviously him for long enough, so apparently they don't think he's that bad. But I think what really is going to do it is when Kobe retires and our systems suck. So it's not entertaining. Uh, What do you guys think?
I actually think they might keep him.
No, all right.
No, hold on.
I'm throwing you off the
Hold on,
podcast.
no,
Yeah.
hold on.
I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
leave now. I'll see you guys later.
I don't want him to come back. But every game that he coaches, I feel like more and more they're gonna let him play. They're gonna let him coach next season to see how his system is without Kobe. I mean, he hasn't really been given a fair shot. I mean, he has given his comments and everything, but I don't know if he's necessarily a bad coach as like a system guy. I don't know. I can't really judge him because of Kobe. I mean, I really I want him fired, okay? But I don't know if there's the options out there. I mean, Luke isn't coming. I don't think he's coming because Golden State's like the perfect job for him. He can be the coach. Yeah.
But the thing is he's not their head coach.
Yeah, he's gonna want a head coach after this year.
Yeah, he's already shown, and he's making assistant money. Plus, okay, I'm not saying that Luke is coming here. I want Luke. I don't know if he's actually going to come. My whole thing is there are 30 head coaching jobs in the NBA. Luke has proven, I don't care what anyone says, I don't care if this is the Golden State Warriors, he has proven to be a good head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 100 times better than Byron. He's proven to be good, okay? There are only 30 positions available. Like, there's not some like in Europe or Mexico or Canada. Well, Toronto, but anyways. Like, there's only 30 of these jobs available on the planet, you know? And NBA head coaching jobs are like the peak that you can get for basketball head coaches.
Yep. Just look at Blatt. I mean, he had it made overseas.
I know.
Second head coaching job, he came over.
I still think he's a decent head coach.
I do too. I like him.
And he's going to be making a lot more money. Assistants, I think, only make like maybe $500,000 a year. Never.
That's like the top end.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't want to be a head coach, I would be surprised. That's I guess my whole thing. I would be surprised if he didn't want to continue on. You know, because that would pretty much be he's taking a step back. Because unless the only way he stays in Golden State is if Kerr's back issues are.
Yeah, I thought he was close a couple weeks ago coming back.
Well, just like last week, he was supposed to come. I don't know what the deal was. Honestly, he doesn't need to push himself though.
Oh yeah.
They're still on pace for like 73 wins.
If Kerr coaches most of the season and they finish with say 68 wins, and Kerr comes in and they get bounced in like the second round of the playoffs, what do they do with Kerr?
Yeah, I would shoot if they fire Kerr, then I go after Kerr.
Yeah.
Oh.
But there are just so many better options, and yes, his systems are terrible.
The Princeton.
Well, okay, we all bag on the Princeton. The Spurs run a Princeton-esque system. It's all based off of ball movement, but you don't see them like all their bigs 30 feet away from the rim. That's the problem.
And the Lakers don't have their ball movement with their Princeton. It's one guy holding the ball 30 feet away, waiting for 15 screens to happen. Passes to the wing guy who came off those said screens, who's not open, so then it turns into an ISO for 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, his schemes are terrible on both ends of the floor. He has them hedge in and collapse the lane, and then, of course, I don't know if I've seen a play where there wasn't an open three available for the other team.
No. Well, I mean, he plays the same defense principles that got him to the finals with the Nets, which was a completely different NBA.
Yeah. The NBA
he was a good coach in early 2000s, but he didn't change it all.
He was still an asshole. But
yeah. Never good with people.
Yeah. I mean, Jason Kidd literally told the Nets, either you trade me or you fire him. You know. Yeah. If they honestly, I won't watch a game next year. If he's the coach,
I think he's just there because he's the only coach that will play Kobe like this. I think any other coach, Kobe would be at 15, 20 minutes like every other player in their 20th year. Kobe's playing almost double the minutes anybody else has played in their 20th season.
I want to say Kareem played 20 minutes, and Kobe's averaging. I still think he's averaging 31, but he's not at the limit. Okay, he's not at the limit.
40 limit.
Still, the stupidest thing about that all to me is he's still playing. Okay, so he's toned down Kobe's minutes for the most part. There's still games where he plays them way too much.
35.
Yeah, I would much rather him play 35 minutes instead of playing the entire first quarter and then sitting the entire second, and then of course you have to sit halftime and then playing the entire third quarter.
Did you hear? I think it was Billy Mack last night said that he liked that Byron did that because it helps Kobe stay loose and warm. And I didn't understand how sitting for 30 minutes helped you stay loose.
When Kobe checked into the Warriors game, with 4 minutes left in the fourth, I turned off my TV. I didn't want to watch anymore because I was like, oh, he's getting hurt. He's getting hurt.
Was that the game that he literally subbed himself in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He walked up and checked in.
And I
can't talk about an ego. Like
just
I knew that. Yeah. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with that. I don't care if he drafts Simmons or Ingram. It would be a hard watch.
Can you imagine Byron trying to make Simmons play the 3 all season?
Make her shoot threes.
So I was gonna get into trades, but I think that's the perfect segue to the draft. Okay. Okay. On Twitter, me and Jamie point out Ben Simmons' flaws. Okay. It probably appears that we both hate Simmons.
No, I like him. I still think he's the best prospect. Like, I absolutely think he's the best player.
Oh,
I know you might feel differently, but
I still prefer Ingram. But it's to me okay. So it would be like here's Ingram and here's Ben. Like it's just like that, you know. But on Twitter, it's like
Simmons, LeBron.
Yeah. Jeff Goodman of ESPN put out a video of saying that Simmons' jump shot isn't broken. Yeah, did you send that to us, Nelson?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. In warm-ups, it's not broken. It's totally different in a game. I love Simmons. Okay, I watched him win the national title, high school title. Right. I woke up early to watch that game. Right. I think he's an awesome player, and I think he has an amazing future ahead of him. But he has got holes that people are assuming that are just easily fixed. Okay. He has the tools to play defense, and he may be conserving himself, a la Okafor, which he wasn't conserving. He just sucked ass at defense. He's not long, okay. His wingspan is the same as his height.
Ooh.
He's 6'10" and his wingspan is 6'10". So, I mean, so what really it is what did you brought it up, Nelson? Because I was ranting about that on Twitter, so you sent it to me. I think he's 6'8.5" without shoes, or 6'9.5" without shoes, which means he's like 6'10" or 6'11", whichever one. His wingspan may be an inch or two longer. That's not great.
No,
it's not.
That's one of the things that people hate about Randall, but they ignore with Simmons.
Yeah.
I know. His shot isn't very good. The warm-up videos, I don't care how many warm-up videos people... No, I'm not talking about you, Nelson. I'm talking about, like, all evaluators or just fans, you know? I shoot differently, okay, in warm-ups than I do in You have a dog?
Yeah, dog.
Oh, nice. You, I shoot differently in warm-ups than I do in the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's totally different. There's no one guarding you in warm-ups. Like you're free. Like I've seen videos of Randall knock down 5 jump shots in a row as well, and his form looked pretty good. In the game, it's totally different. You know, it's the environment is different. It just, yeah, that the shot worries me. Okay, is it broken? Is it? Oh, I love this guy, but his shot is terrible. Is it Emmanuel Mudiay? No, it is not. It is not that broken. It is not. It is not MKG broken. Okay, it's not to those levels, but it is broken. Okay, like that one that you sent us, he had a massive hitch in it. Like, he was running to the side and fading and all this, and you know he was a lefting and he was fading to his left. It was still a very bad shot. You know, I've seen free throws where it looked bad.
Yeah.
Like that is the common setting for. I mean, obviously besides the people in the background, that is the time for you to show your form. You know, they still looked bad. You know, and I always sound like I'm bagging on him. I really like Simmons. Yeah. If we didn't have Randall, that would be the guy I would say probably go after.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem
I still think the gap is big enough to trade Randall.
Exactly. So what it really is that gap big enough to draft Simmons because he can't play the 3, you know. Maybe Ben Rosales has said play him at the 5 for spurts, but he can't do that full time.
Right.
So you're gonna have to trade Randall because they probably can't play together, and then you have to get equal value because you spent a top 7 pick on Randall. You know, there's a few teams with 2 first-round draft picks. Maybe one would give one of them up, but for Randall. But see, I would rather have Randall and Ingram than just Simmons. And who knows? I don't know. I know. Yeah, I know that you absolutely love him.
Oh yeah.
And I know I always sounds almost like I'm attacking you, which I'm totally not trying to come off as that way. I feel like a jerk half the time I do it. But it really, I'm not trying to. Yeah, the whole point is we have Randall. If you're going to take Simmons, you're gonna have to trade him, and you have to get something valuable back. And I don't know what you're going to get back because is Randall going to bring you a young 5 or 3 because that's essentially what you're going to need.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I can't wait for them to draft him, though, and then Byron to play him at the 3. It'll be wonderful.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Then they won't trade Randall. And then one of their values is just going to plummet because of it. And it's going to be bad.
Yeah. And I'm not, okay, like I said, I like Ingram better. I'm not saying Ingram is going to be better off the bat.
No. I don't think he will.
I think Ben will probably be better off the bat. But to act like he's going to be doing what he's doing in college is hilarious.
Yeah.
Look at the teams he's played. He's played, I think, 1 ranked team in Kentucky, and they look terrible.
Yeah.
Like I don't even. The last time I saw that they were ranked 9th, they're only 9th just because of
they lost too Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean they're ranked.
Overrated.
They're not good, you know. Look at all the other teams he's played against. Trash. One good team. The only other one good teams, or the 2 teams he played, Marquette. And so that was against Ellison, who is a solid prospect in his own right. And Vanderbilt with is it Damian Jones? Is he there or is he at Purdue? I can't remember.
I think it's Jones, and it's Baldwin.
Yeah, Baldwin. Oh, he could go real high. I've seen people have him in top 10.
Yeah, that's too high for him. I think he's more top 20.
I would still say lottery. 6'4" with a 6'10" wingspan. Oh, sign me up. Yeah, it just people are refusing to acknowledge his holes and his strength of schedule. And the funniest thing about the strength of schedule is LSU is trash.
Yeah,
So
they're bad.
That was the point I tried to make on Twitter, but it came off real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a guy who's supposed to be a transcendent superstar, which he isn't. He's a very good player, but he's not transcendent. This isn't LeBron. I'm sorry, everyone that makes that comment. A terrible comp, and people should stop doing comps.
Because if you put 17, 18-year-old LeBron on this LSU team,
oh my
they're
word!
ranked.
Oh, they're a national title contender.
Yeah.
And
I think people forget how good LeBron was at 17. Like he came into the NBA and put up huge numbers as a 17-year-old.
Yeah. I dislike LeBron now for many reasons. I loved him when he first came into the league. That guy, he was like Simmons is a freak. Okay, he's a freak of nature athletically. He's fast and he's explosive. LeBron was like even more.
Yeah.
And he was actually he's still capable of playing the three. And I bet you if you put LeBron next to Ben Simmons, I bet you that they're the same height.
Yeah, probably.
I know LeBron is listed at 6'9", but he's giant. Like he's probably.
Have you seen LeBron in person?
No,
Massive, huge in person.
Oh, dude, and they say he's 250. I think he's probably 275, and he's probably like
with like 5% body fat.
5% body fat. That guy is like.
Yeah.
He is the most insane physical specimen ever
in the NBA.
Like, not only is he massive, but his wingspan is huge too. So, yeah, I can't deal with the LeBron comps. Yeah, that's and the guy that runs SB Nation, not the Lakers one. Just I think the site as a whole.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. He said it perfectly. You're going to have to bend your team to Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're going to have to bend the team. With Ingram, he's a plug and play.
Yeah.
And he's an insane plug and play guy, and he's starting to show everything. And everyone is, including myself, are worried about his frame.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he goes into the paint several times a game, and he bangs. Like, he's not thrown off either. Like
it's like KD. Like KD, they always worried about, well, you couldn't bench 180 or something at the combine.
Yeah.
And that's a good weakness to have, I would say, when you're that long.
Yeah. People also fail to ever mention, and I think I've probably said it 10 times on Twitter, Ingram is over a year younger.
Yeah.
Over a year younger. Simmons is almost 19 and a half, I think.
Yeah.
How is he so old? He get held back or something?
Him and Scal. Scal is
old. Oh, yeah, Scal's like 20 by the draft.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't Dwayne Bacon, who's going to be 21 next year. But yeah, they're so old. I mean, Ingram is really young. He, I think, might have graduated early to go play. But don't quote me on that. Yeah, he's just, you would think that year wouldn't be actually big, but it is. So, because what it is now you've got to fix what he's developed in that year, while you can just mold Ingram. So, yeah.
I think year 3 of the rebuild, you have to start looking for fit if the talent is close enough.
I agree.
If you're someone like the Sixers, who's always in year 1, you go Simmons. If you're somehow the Nets were to get a pick and land it, they go Simmons regardless of what their roster is.
Oh well, I mean that would be going to Boston. So
yeah. I said if they could somehow keep it.
Yeah.
I think Oh.
Sorry, honestly, I don't even know if Philly would go with Simmons.
No, that's why I really want us to get the number 2 pick because I think Simmons falls. Not because he's not the best player. I think it's because the Sixers should stop drafting big men. They should start going a bit more for fit. They should. They probably won't. They probably end up drafting Scal. But I mean, I think they go Ingram, and I think it goes Simmons to the Lakers as the current draft order. And I think you can mold a team. I see him being a future superstar. I mean, that's high praise, and I don't really know that much to say that. But I think you can mold a team around him and not regret it. I think you can trade Randall. I wouldn't mind trading Randall if they trade Randall for Simmons or to draft Simmons. That wouldn't be a problem. I think him and D'Angelo could play nicely. They played in high school together, so they already have that chemistry going. I think he can still actually play the 3 if his jump shot becomes decent. I'm not. Yeah, it's not likely, but I think he still can. I think it was Jacob Rude who said that he still believes that he can play the 3. I actually still do, but it's a long shot.
His athleticism gap
shot.
narrows a lot in the NBA too, which people aren't taking into account.
That's the whole thing with Randall too. People are still bringing Randall up as a 3.
Man.
Well,
Not
I mean,
even close.
our head coach does that too. Yeah, so point guard is generally especially now, one of the most athletic position players. But usually the 2 and the 3 are generally just insane athletic freaks.
Yep.
Simmons is otherworldly athletic at the 4. You bring him to the 3, he's getting blown by LeBron and probably Kevin Durant, who, even though he's not LeBron, he's still an athletic freak as well.
And his first step is 12 feet long.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't see it. He's an athletic freak, but can he do that against a 3 in the NBA? No, I don't think so. And I don't even think it's really that close. Yeah, I thought so last year too, but just seeing him now, I'm just like, no,
Yeah.
I don't, because the main thing is the thing that you want from a 3-man is you want shooting and you want defense. I mean, you want him to create as well. Obviously, I'm not saying you don't, but those are 2 things that you generally need now in the NBA from your 3, and he provides neither of those. I think he would have an easier time defending 4s in the NBA.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But not 3s.
And he has underrated post offense, so I don't think he had a problem banging down with the bigs that much.
No, and the thing is he's not small either. He's not getting much bigger. I'm telling people right now.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be 20 next year when he's playing in the NBA. You're not going to see like him sprout a lot more or get longer or be able to put on a ton of weight. Yeah. My thing is going back to Lakers. So in transition, Simmons is insane. I love watching Simmons in transition. In the half court, he is incredibly boring. You're essentially going to have to play him as a point guard.
Point forward.
Yeah, well, point forward. But the problem is, then you're taking the ball out of D'Angelo's hands.
Which I already get mad at with Lou and Clarkson.
Yeah. Then, yeah. I think you're just going to have to change the team too much because then you're going to have to add shooting, a lot more shooting. You're probably going to have to get, if you're playing him at the 3, you're going to regret it, but you're going to have to get a 4 that can shoot, and then you're going to probably need a 5 that can shoot as well. And if people really want to get Simmons and DeRozan, you're going to need...
God.
There will be no spacing.
Yeah.
In Byron's system?
No. Okay, so this is pretty much what I've seen a lot on Twitter. You take Simmons, you trade Randall, okay, whatever. But then you get Whiteside, and then you get DeRozan. No spacing at all. Like, that is going to, like, maybe in transition that would be really fun. Probably it would be. That would be terrible in the half court because you can't, like, this isn't This isn't the Phoenix Suns, 7 seconds or less offense. Like, not many teams even come close to that. And in the half court, what are you going to do? Like, you're going to have three or four guys.
You give the ball to Russell and pray.
Yeah. Did you see? Well, I mean, his range is getting even better now. Did you see? He was like 5 feet or more behind the line. He was deep. I was like, yes.
Yeah, he like I think on the one that he waved off Kobe and then he did a little crossover and he shot it over. I think it was Montrezl Harrell. I think it was like easily 5 feet from the 3-point line. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, his range is going to be scary when he adds more strength to his legs.
Oh, his driving. Oh God, that's going to be.
Oh, and he's been driving more. I think he still needs to do more. I think he needs to do more probing too.
Yep.
Driving into the lane and then dishing out. But that'll come. I mean, he can't really do that anyways right now with the lack of spacing. All right. Well, I didn't see any draft questions directed towards us online. So
No.
I think you guys, okay, so Nelson is Simmons all the way.
Oh.
Yeah, Nelson is. Jamie is Ingram, but he still thinks Simmons is the slightly better, the best player. And I think we've got a nice medium on that, and then I say Ingram all the way. So my thing is I've seen some really highly touted scouts say Ingram, so I'm just like, so I'm not crazy. So yeah. All right. So sorry. Before we move on to the next topic, I got a question from Shizeb Imam at Shizeb88. If the Lakers draft Ingram, would you try Anthony Brown at the 2 and Clarkson off the bench?
No.
What about you, Nelson?
Wait, so that means Simmons plays the 3?
No,
Ingram.
Ingram.
Oh, I actually think Ingram is more of a 2. I think, and then when it comes to the NBA, I think because of his shot and the way he creates, I think he can play more 2 at first, and because of his body, and I think because I don't know how well he can guard an NBA 3, like you said. I think he might be a little bit too weak to guard one. I know he has good defense and he has high potential on that side, but I think you start him off at the 2 and then you move him to a 3. Because I know he's going to be a 3 in the NBA, but I think a 2 to start off with.
I think he's a 3 all the way still, because even though he's not as explosive as obviously Simmons, he's still not a slouch. He's kind of like the 3 version of D'Angelo if you think about it. He's athletic, but people play it down, and he's incredibly long, and they use that length to their advantage a lot. I was totally no at first, and then I started to think, right? So, okay, Clarkson is probably destined to the bench.
Yeah.
We're playing him at the... Well, first off, he's not a straight 1 anymore. His playmaking for others is just down the drain. I wonder if that's just from Steve Nash being gone.
I think it's a combination of he's running a ton of pick and roll last year.
Yeah.
He's not doing that so much.
Yeah, which we don't do.
Partially system, partially him adapting to his new role. When he played, the first half of the season with Russell, so he didn't have to play make at all.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with his down in playmaking.
Yeah, if his shooting is up.
Yeah, his shooting.
Yeah.
And that's not up. That hasn't rebounded yet.
Mm-mm.
So my idea on it is Brown's like an average size 3, right?
Yep.
He's like 6'5.5" without shoes, and he's like 6'7" with shoes.
Mm-hmm.
That's tall too. My whole idea of that is he's long though. I think he's 6'10" in his wingspan.
Something like that.
So then you have shooters all around the defenders, and say you get Festus Ezeli, and you have Randall. You let those 2 bang down below, and Randall can still, come out. But then you got shooters all around, and you are likely to improve the defense. That depends on Clarkson ever getting a clue on D. But yeah, I don't know if I would do it right off the bat, but I would at least try it in rotation. Yeah,
I definitely play that lineup. I don't know if I would start it.
Yeah.
That'd be a long lineup, Russell, Ingram, Brown. It's
Right.
a lot of length.
Right. We would turn into the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, but shooting.
Yeah.
With shooting.
We'd just be running up and down the floor.
That was my thing, and that's also dependent on Brown being able to take it to the hoop every once in a while, and
He's been doing a little bit.
And that's why I thought maybe it would be a little bit more interesting to see, especially since I don't know if Clarkson, like I said, I don't know if Clarkson's ever going to be a starter. I think he's destined to be a six-man now.
Six-man, yeah.
So, yeah, I think I'm a little higher on that than you two, obviously, but
yeah.
I mean, it's not a huge thing. So, let's try and do trades real quick, okay? I know everyone's been saying that we need to stop being so long. Lou Williams trade worth. There was a discussion online of how valuable he is. People want first. I said like 20 to 25, or if you're even going to give us like still a late first, I would do it. There was a discussion between Ben Rosales and Lakers Legacy Pod. It's hard to communicate so much in a short, like, small amount, you know, and I think there is a lot of issues with that. But they want like a 15 to 19, and he's not that good. Like he's you know 20 to 25, or you know even 27 to 29. The whole point of it is he's not. He provides offense off the bench, but the problem is that's all he provides.
Yep.
You know, and most of the value that he provides is through his true shooting percentage, which is great, but then that goes into the style of play issues that you're going to want. At least that I kind of want. I want more of a fast-paced offense. Lou stagnates the ball.
Yep.
And because I mean, how he draws fouls is awesome. I'm not going to deny that.
I have no idea how he does it.
Yeah, dude, he's a wizard. My wife says he looks like a mouse, but I think that nasty beard thing that he has going on is just he's starting to change, you know, into Gandalf the Grey or something like that. But yeah, I would trade him so quick. But yeah, for some reason there's like a huge discrepancy between people on his value.
Everybody overvalues their own players.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how it always is.
Yeah. My whole thing is if someone was offering that much, which they're not going to, is we would probably do that trade in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some real quick trade scenarios. Okay, I showed Jamie the majority of these. I didn't send these to you, Nelson, but I tried. Okay, people, I tried to not be a homer. Okay, I'm so probably gonna get yelled at for being a homer, but whatever. The first one is Noel for Clarkson and Ryan Kelly. So Philly gets obviously Clarkson and a point guard that they need still, even with Ish Smith, and they get Kelly, who would, I think, with Mike D'Antoni would do a lot better.
Yeah.
You probably try and like throw some type of pick in here, maybe our second something. The real question is if, obviously, and a lot of these have to do with Noel because I want him. The real question is how the Philly values Noel. So Jamie thinks that they value them higher, right?
Yeah.
And I think for some reason that they stupidly value Okafor more. And if he keeps playing the way he does, maybe his value will fall and we'll be able to get him.
They're so analytics heavy in Philly.
I know. My only retort to that is of Colangelo. I have no idea how I don't remember how he was in Toronto.
Me neither.
If he wants, if he thinks that they have a hole at the 1, then maybe they do that. I don't know if they would do it even, but I thought it was good. We get the 5 we need. They get a point guard and a floor spacing big because we all know Okafor can't space the floor. And really, the only shooter they have on that team is Covington because Stauskas.
And Covington's been in a bad stretch the last almost month now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Hollis Thomas can shoot, or Hollis Thompson can shoot. I know in 2K he can shoot, but I don't think in real life he can shoot.
I was just about to say, in 2K he's a really good shooter.
On a 2K, Thompson always, for some reason, goes off for 20 against me, and I'm just like, what the? You're not that good in real life. Get out of here. Yeah, Stauskas can't shoot. I mean, there's only it would essentially just be really Noel for Clarkson,
Yeah.
Because Kelly's 1 year, they've got Sarge coming next year. Just depends on D'Antoni. The next one is again to Philly. Noel, Covington, and Thompson for Nick Young, Ryan Kelly, and Clarkson. So it's just adding Covington and Thompson and Nick for they get a vet that. That was probably stupid. They don't want a vet like Nick Young, but maybe my whole thinking still is Colangelo. I have no idea what he wants. And he provides shooting, even though he's shot terribly now, and I still think that's partly. He was so good with D'Antoni. That's another guy. Nick and Kelly were so good with D'Antoni. That one's really unlikely.
I think if you throw in Brown, because I like Covington a lot. I think I like him more than Brown. I think if you toss in Brown, maybe
Brown would make that a little more even.
Yeah. That I want to be bad with that one. My only thing is, Brown is 23. He's gonna be 24 next year. Covington I think is already 26, which isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
So, and he's on that insane Philly special contract, 4 years unguaranteed at the minimum. Then I started messing around with 3-way trades. Nerlens Noel and Justin Anderson to LA for Felton and Clarkson to Philly and likely a pick. Dallas's pick this year is only top summer protected, so that's going to Boston. Felton is a guy that can, be a mentor. He's been a knucklehead in the past, but Carlisle seems to have him, reined in.
Carlisle's also a wizard, so.
Yeah. But he shaved his head, unfortunately, so he doesn't look like the wizard anymore. I'm sorry, I got to keep going with that. And then Lou to Dallas. So Dallas would just be sending us Anderson. And all these trades, by the way, people are from ESPN Trade Machine, and they all work. So it would all just – there's picks probably thrown in here, like maybe Dallas throws in a pick to Philly next year, because I think they have their pick next year.
Then Philly's going to do it. They get a pick.
Yeah.
Philly's all good.
So, yeah, I mean, they would get Clarkson a first and then a mentor. And Felton's only on a 1 year – or he's only got 1 year left anyway, so, an expiring deal for them. Next is – oh, my word, I didn't realize how much Noel I did.
Wow.
Brandon Jennings and Nerlens Noel to L.A. and then Philly gets Brandon Bass, Reggie Bullock, and Clarkson. Bass, I think, would be very smart to put next to Okafor.
Yeah.
Great veteran presence.
So Bass is a 5.
I love how you did that without even smiling at first. And then this is when I would have Detroit throw in their first round pick, and it would probably be lottery protected to Philly. For Philly would get Bass and Bullock and Clarkson, and then Detroit would get Lou, who they need scoring off the bench, and Ryan Kelly and the reason why I put Ryan Kelly there, obviously for salary, but he would, because
Stan would love that.
that's my point.
Yeah.
He would be their Earson, Ilyasova off the bench, you know,
Yep.
because Tolliver can't shoot, so
He can on 2K.
yeah. Thompson can shoot on 2K too, but he can't really shoot that. I mean, I think Thompson shoots like 40% on his career or something like that, but I think it's like off of like 2 attempts per game or something. This one I just got stupid, but so it sounds really one-sided for LA, but I think Philly would actually do this one. So Noel and KJ McDaniels and Robert Covington to LA for Ty Lawson, which they wouldn't like, but it's unguaranteed next year, so they can just cut him. Sam Decker, Jordan Clarkson, and Houston's first round draft pick, and then Houston gets Lou and Nick. So Houston gets shooting and off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Philly gets Decker and Clarkson. More Clarkson still, I think that's just the best fit. They would probably want D'Angelo, but that's not happening.
No.
D'Angelo broke before.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, I think they should. It's inevitable at this point.
We're ending the podcast. That's ridiculous. Yeah, if you give a first, so you give a first to Philly, they can just cut Lawson after next year. Sam Decker, he's out for the year, I think, but that's a 3 that I know a lot of people were really high on.
Yep.
And Clarkson. So it's just, yeah. So, the only negative thing is Lawson, but if you throw in a pick, so like even if you were to throw in LA's 32 pick and Houston's first round draft pick, I don't think that's that bad. Yeah. Then 6 is McDaniels, KJ McDaniels, Zach LaVine, and Gorgie Dang to LA. I think LaVine next to D'Angelo would be scary.
Ooh.
Could just the half court lobs would just be LaVine has a long way to grow still, but
Yeah.
he's massively improved this year from last year. And what that would do is LaVine would be off of the 1, and I want to say it's Patrick Fenelon, he's like a blogger and like personality for that. He's a fan of the Bucks. He always shows things of like the skills or stats of LaVine from between the 1 and the 2, and the 2 is just
He's
awesome. So good at the 2. So yeah, I think that would be just crazy. And then Gorgie Dang, you get the 5 that you want. Minnesota gets Lawson, which is just an expiring for them. Ryan Kelly and oh crap, I wrote that one down. I don't remember that one. There was another one. I'll look it up on my phone. But then Houston would get Kevin Martin, Lou Williams, so 2 shooters and creators off the bench, and then Tyus Jones. I thought the one for Tyus was good because they need another, or to replace Ty. So yeah, let me see if I can find this one real quick of who the last one was. Do any of these deals so far sound like good to you guys at all, or I mean, obviously most of them are they're never going to happen, but
No.
hey, talking trade scenarios are fun.
I think the closest one would be the first one, really.
Yeah.
Noel for Clarkson
Yeah.
and Kelly.
And then a pick. I think the Lakers would have to send out also.
Yeah. Oh, so this one, the one that we're on right now, it would be Minnesota would get Ty Lawson, Ryan Kelly, and Jordan Clarkson. So they would get a 2, just not as good as LaVine, but then maybe like Houston throws their pick to Minnesota. So yeah, this way you're hopefully not having to give like the protection off of our first pick, and if you're wanting to go after Noel, because that may be what they would want, or well, they would want that anyways. But yeah, then 7 was I think this one actually isn't too far off. Brandon Jennings to LA with Justin Anderson. Dallas gets Lou Williams, and Detroit gets Nick Young and Felton.
Still really only like the first one.
Yeah.
I think
adding more. The big problem is going to be whether or not it's smart. I don't see the Lakers trading Russell Randall Clarkson.
Yeah.
For anything.
Yeah.
It cannot see it.
They just are so especially with Byron. They're just so heavily invested in Jordan. It's unbelievable.
Yep. I don't see.
I still really like Jordan.
I do too. I love him.
But it's just his style of play now is starting to kill me. Like, I literally, like, last year when I would be able to watch a game, I would just tune in just for Jordan.
Yep.
But now with the lineup that he's always put in with, I just kind of like.
I think that's part of the reason, though.
Yeah. This is true. Okay, and then real quick, this is from the Jim guy. He says his name is Demetrius, I believe, and he's from Greek, and he says Demetrius is essentially James in Greek. So, yeah. He had one, several. LA gets Aaron Brooks, Tony Snell, Etuan Moore, and Craig Barstow, and Chicago gets Lou and Huertas. Part of it, he wants to get rid of Lou or Huertas.
I don't see the Bulls doing that one.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. They do need scoring off the bench, in my opinion, especially from the guard spot. And they don't seem super high on Snell. They seem to play him funky at times. But, yeah. His next one is Felton, Justin Anderson, Jeremy Evans, and Majiri, the giant Indian guy. That guy is massive. Dallas gets Lou and Bass.
I love Justin Anderson. I wouldn't mind getting him.
Yeah. What do you think?
Lakers have to cut some of those guys, though. Lakers don't have the.
Majiri is on. He was a second-round pick, so that's unguaranteed.
Okay.
And I believe Evans' deal is unguaranteed as well.
Okay. That's not a bad one. I kind of like that one.
Yeah, I thought so too. Oh, another guy. This isn't on here. I can't remember. Ryan Suarez, I think his name is. He's been messaging, I think, all of us quite a bit. He had Joe Johnson for okay. Joe Johnson for Roy Hibbert and Nick Young. So what it essentially is, it's just getting total expiring deal just to get rid of Nick Young.
No thanks.
So yeah, I was like, to get rid of Nick Young or not to get rid of Nick Young. I mean,
Joe Johnson. No way.
You could always buy out Joe. That's what is rumored to happen with the Nets, anyways. But yeah, the next one he has is one that's really popular. Is Lou to Detroit for Jennings and a first-round draft pick. I've seen that thrown around quite a bit.
Yeah. How's Jennings been since he's been back?
I'll check.
I don't know if I want to add another guard to Byron because you probably give more excuses not to play D'Angelo.
That is the truth.
Well, I think Jennings is essentially just what Lou is. He's not a point guard. I mean, he's more of a. He's listed as a 1, but he's really a 2 in a 1's body. So he's played. Brandon Jennings has played 9 games so far, and he's, he's shooting terribly like normal. Can't shoot a 3. Well, he's really bad at 3s right now. Let's see about his advance though. His PER is 13.8, which is not good, but I don't even know if that's what Lou's is. Maybe Lou's is like
Lou's got to be higher than that.
I think Lou is something like 17. Pulling up Lou right now.
I mean, I had a trade that's
17.8.
good.
Look at you, you're faster. Yeah, I honestly, it wouldn't be the guard swap. It would just be pick.
The pick, yeah.
Yeah, because I think with how they are right now, are they like 5th in the East?
They're
Or
pretty
you're
high.
looking at? Yeah, they're much improved this year, and Reggie Jackson looks nice again. He looks like he did that entire Memphis series like 2 years ago. You got it?
Yeah, they're 6th.
They're 6th. Okay. Yeah, I mean, because
They're only half a game back of Miami.
If you just say lottery protected, I would still do that deal because I don't really see them falling out of.
No way.
Out of it. Then the last one I liked was Lou and Bass to Washington for Nene and their 1st-round draft pick.
Is Nene expiring?
Nene is expiring.
Okay, I'd do that then.
I wouldn't mind it.
My own variation to this, because I'm selfish and I love this player. Instead of the 1st, I want Oubre.
I don't think Washington does that though.
I like Oubre.
I guess they're lower or they're higher on Oubre than I thought they were, but oh man.
Yeah.
A 6'7", 6'8" guy with a wingspan of like 7'1" and has a sweet lefty stroke. Oh my word!
And those nice shoes from the draft.
Those. He was the one wearing the spikes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate those shoes. Oh, I'm old though. Jamie got called that he's apparently just white and has no fancy.
Oh man.
Which Jamie later to me was like, well, he's right, but no, there's something that needs to be done. Like, who let Russell Westbrook come into the arena looking like Kirby? Okay, that pink, like, and I'm not even that guy that says like pink is a terrible color, okay? Because I wore pink in high school. I don't care. Yeah, that wasn't the thing. It was just he looked like Kirby to me, like just terrible. Oh, and then D'Angelo the other night had that disgusting turtleneck and glasses.
Oh god!
Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not 60. You're not 60. Stop that.
Dude, I like Kobe's clean suits. You know, like he's going to the office. That's my style.
Right? Exactly. Like, whatever. Stupid. So we did talk about Roy earlier. I think this should be the last topic. Roy has been rumored that he's going to be dealt, or that the Lakers are going to find a team to deal him to.
Easier said than done.
Exactly. His contract is loaded. For the year it's like 15. For prorated now it's like 7 still owed to him. That doesn't matter because it's still based off of what you start out as.
15, yeah.
That is, like Jamie said, easier said than done. Of course, I was bored and I was played around on the trade machine on that one, and I could only think of 3 teams that could seriously do it, because there aren't a lot of teams with bloated deals that you're going to want back, or that they would even be willing to give up. Like, Cleveland has 3 players that could make it work, but they're not giving up LeBron, Kyrie, or Kevin Love for it.
So Kevin Love to LA again.
Oh, fuck. I still love Kevin Love. I still love that guy.
Oh, God.
Me too.
He would be terrible in LA, but I still would like to see him post up more. Anyways, yeah, they're not doing that. You know, like Miami has I think 3 big big deals. They've got Dragic, Bosch, and Wade, and they're not giving up in any of those. And really, the only one that I would want anyways would be Bosch, and he's their best player. You know, like it's a difficult thing. Okay, so there's really only 2 playoff teams even that could be really considered. The 2 of the deals that I had were just because, like I said, just messing around. Roy to Brooklyn, but you do Roy, Lou, and Kelly for Joe Johnson and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, which gives you that insane defensive stopper at the 3. They're not going to. There's no way that. The only way that they would do that is if the Russian guy, what's his name, Prokhorov or whatever.
Yep.
Is he would think that Lou and Kelly would help next year.
Yeah.
Lou would help them next
year, right?
Yeah.
Well, and they would see, and that's my whole premise off of that is I don't think he cares anything about the young guys. He's just going to try and rebuild through free agency. Well, this gives you the ability to get Lou. Would it really do anything? I don't think so. But it wouldn't help. It wouldn't help Hibbert anyways.
No.
You know.
No.
The other one was just the Roy and Nick to Joe Johnson again. So then that really only leaves 2 options really, Chicago and Washington. Chicago, everyone keeps bringing that one up because of Noah going down.
But Powell's the center now.
Yeah. So what that does is they already had a front court logjam to begin with because you're gonna want to start playing Bobby Portis. And they still play Mirotic out of position at the 3 stupidly.
Yeah.
They can still trade Noah's deal if LA would waive it's like the right to physical or whatever since they would already know. So that's not a big deal. If he didn't get hurt, the only reason why I would say that would be fine is because you want to, if supposedly he could be a target and you would want to see what he brings to you, you know. But that doesn't solve anything for Chicago anyways, and to even match up the salaries, you're gonna have to add like Tony Snell or Doug McDermott, which I would like McBuckets. I would still love McBucket, but yeah. You know, it's just that's not a really good one either. And then Washington for Roy for Nene and Oubre to match up salaries.
No.
Again, I mean, I would do that in a heartbeat, but Washington's not going to do that.
No.
The only way I would see Washington coming up saying, okay, fine in that one is because Nene is always hurt. Always hurt. I mean, let's see how many games he's even played this year. A basketball reference. He has played in a grand total of 18 games this year, which isn't surprising. He's better than Roy, but Roy is healthy, so there's the trade-off. And then I would say they'd have to throw in Oubre or Otto Porter Jr. for some type of, you know, actual, you know, wanting to do the deal, you know. It would just be if it's just an expiring for an expiring, what's the point, you know, other than to help out Roy, but then that doesn't necessarily do anything for the other team,
right?
Either. So
all the people that want to trade Hibbert so badly are the ones that think he's useless. So if he really is useless, you're not going to get anything back for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, really what you're going to be doing is just you're going to be doing some type of expiring deal because the Lakers aren't going to want to take on money unless it's with a young player. And the reason why I throw in Oubre is because Washington is going to make a massive push for Kevin Durant, and they're going to want all the cap space that
Yep.
they possibly can to sign him, and possibly another.
Feel bad for
So-
Wall if they got that team because they're not going to get him. He's staying.
Oh.
At least a year. He's staying at least a year.
Yeah.
Oh no, I totally agree.
Unless something
But
happens in OKC. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I can't see him leaving either. But that's but then that still opens up salary for the following year as well.
Yeah.
So then you just, instead of Oubre, you add in filling, So it's a lot harder, people, than you really think, because your Roy Hibbert isn't going to be part of some deal for DeMarcus Cousins, like Roy Hibbert isn't going to be
Hibbert for
Roy
Boogie straight up, right?
yeah. Roy isn't. You're not getting like a 3 for him. You're not getting a Gordon Hayward. You're not getting. See, it's that difficult. I mean, you could trade him to New Orleans, but they're not a playoff team, and you would probably have to take back Ashik.
No thanks.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you could do. I don't know. You would probably have to do Eric Gordon in some form of other, like, filler, but I don't. Gordon's not moving the needle for anyone, and in fact, he's probably more valuable to them than Hibbert is.
Yeah.
So, because he's like their only 3-point shooter. Yeah. I mean, but hey, they at least they said no to. Oh wait, were they the ones that said no to the Rudy Gay trade, or did Sacramento say no?
I don't remember.
I think it was
Oh.
Sacramento.
Those rumors were ridiculous. I would love to see Rudy Gay on the same team again as Tyreek. I'm totally joking. I don't even think. I think they missed each other by a year, but man, that would be terrible. So those are all the trades that I could think of. I tried not to be too homerish, even though saying them out loud, I was like, dang, these are really one-sided.
Yeah.
I just don't see
It
the
just-
Lakers making a move.
Yeah,
I really
I know.
don't.
and that's like, not every team values some of these guys as high as our fans do.
Nope.
Like I don't know why the Lakers think Lou is some piece for the future. I'm like, I would trade him in a heartbeat, and I really wasn't even a fan of the deal anyways. But yeah, now, because what happens if like Lou turns into Nick, and then you're just stuck with him again.
Yeah.
So my
Stay swaggy.
whole thing, oh man, my whole thinking of getting rid of Nick and Lou is you clear cap space for this year, and then you could actually max out 3 guys next year if you cleared them out.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think I would do that anyways, but just saying. Well, that was a lot of talk. I did not mean to go this long again, but at least the last half hour this time wasn't rambling about like the Yankees and other stuff. So what do you guys got coming up?
Trying to fix the site still. HostGator.
It's still down?
Yeah, they messed up something with the new plan that I bought, which was more expensive for it to be faster, and they just took it down, and it's in support right now. They said it could take up to a month, so that's
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, man, I wanted to do like turn Tank to Win when we were writing a lot into an actual site, but I was just like, I don't want to pay that much money all the time. So yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I've heard that like for podcasting, Blog Talk Radio does a lot of that type of crap too. Like kick you off during the middle of phone calls and have to restart the entire thing. So yeah, I'm glad we found out this way.
Yeah.
What about you, Nelson? Do you still have your top 10 board coming out?
Yeah, and I'm also going to start working on a little piece about Lakers' future.
Wonderful. Did you get your rant in that you that you sent me
Oh yeah,
on
I
Twitter.
read it, but I'm like, it was just mostly covering all the topics and how bad the Lakers are right now and how bad they're going to be for like the next 5 years. So,
5 years?
I
No.
don't think.
probably
No,
10.
I
I
think
don't even know.
I think we've only got 2 more years of this. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully
0
this is the
more
last
years
year
of
of this,
this.
and then and then starting to improve next year a lot, and then
Yep.
yeah.
I doubt that happens, but I mean, got to be hopeful.
Right.
I mean, the new
guess.
coach is at
maybe
least, what, 10 wins?
you're right.
Yeah.
Right. Seriously though, for all you people that think the Lakers should be better, you should be praying that they fire Byron.
Yep.
Yeah. If
That would be
happens.
that would be a massive upgrade. Because I mean, seriously, we've got 9 wins. I would say that without Byron, we'd maybe have 14 or 15.
Yeah.
Am I
I
wrong?
think-
I mean,
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. Absolutely right.
I think the Lakers only have because they're tanking. I mean, I don't really see another reason why. Than Kobe.
yeah. If we are literally tanking, I hope this is it, because
It's got to be.
we're most likely going to be improved next year anyways.
Yep.
So that pick isn't going to be as high. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, I was trying to send it off, and then I turned it into another topic. All right. Well, I don't have anything planned because, of course, I'm still lazy and writing, and I'm busy with schoolwork.
School, man.
This
Yeah.
this class, man. Seriously, I thought I was gonna have it easy. No. I started working on stuff on Tuesday last week, and I just finished it yesterday. Like, seriously? You've got to be kidding me. Like, that's also partly because I'm a procrastinator. But yeah. So, well, hopefully, if anything happens this week, maybe we'll have to try and have a midweek podcast.
Yep.
Instead of just weekend ones.
Mhm.
If maybe a game isn't too late. Do we have any games on the East Coast this week? If so, that's usually when we could do like a after game podcast.
Yep.
I thought,
Let's see.
because it's obviously way too late for Jamie.
I can barely even make it through the games.
Yeah.
Nope. Sunday, we have next Sunday, 9:30 start my time.
Man.
Nothing early until middle of February.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this, people, is going to be, if you're a fan of the tank, this is the time for it, because our schedule is about to get brutal. I think the next winnable game we have is against the Kings, and we've shown that we can't beat them. So, yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a great weekend, and day. I forgot the weekend's already over. And next game for the Lakers is Wednesday, I believe. So. Yep. So we'll talk to you guys later, and have a blessed one.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Later.